Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I'm going to be reviewing WrestleMania 17 today. This is quite possibly one of the best WWE pay-per-views of all time. This is quite possibly the biggest exclamation point and the biggest boom of professional wrestling that we've seen. This is Austin versus Rock. This is WWF proclaiming they had won the Monday Night War against WCW. It's hard to, if you didn't live through this, it's hard to explain into words. I mean, WWF going to the Astrodome, being there in Texas, being in that large stadium that they put 67,000 fans in, which, it sounds almost average to what they're doing today with 74, 75,000. Rumor is they're going to have north of 85,000 this year. But WrestleMania 16, WrestleMania 2000, as most people know it as, was held in Anaheim at the Anaheim Pond. That one only had 19,000 fans, and that was only 1 year ahead of time. And I think that WWF took a leap of faith going to the Astrodome, and it really worked out. I look up at the upper deck of WrestleMania 17, and I don't really know what those people were looking at. They had the huge Titantron where the stage was, and there was small in today's standards of, the big TVs, the scoreboards, things. There was 4 of them, one in each corner. I don't really know what a lot of fans were looking at, but they were able to feel the atmosphere, and you were able to tell that this is possibly one of the times in WWF it was at its most popular, at its peak. From here on out, they would sort of lose people, with people not having an alternative, with maybe WWF getting to a point where they didn't have a lot of options. If you think about, 2002 being a big year the next year for WWF with, of course, they were still bringing in WCW talent, but I mean, they would lose Stone Cold, they would pretty much lose The Rock to go to Hollywood. A lot of things would happen, and WWF would start to lose a little bit of popularity coming out of this. But with WCW closing, I think just 2 weeks before, which added to the Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon feud, this was a great time to be a professional wrestling fan. Well, they just lost company, and plus, I think ECW would close right around this time as well, so maybe it wasn't the best time to be a professional wrestling fan, but you knew that big things were coming. In here, and then they go to the main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. Stone Cold was coming back from a neck injury at this time, and he wanted to show the world that he could still do it. The month before, Stone Cold Steve Austin had lost a 2 out of 3 falls match to Triple H. So even though he had won the Rumble, he was coming in, looking kind of vulnerable and kind of weak. And he knew that he had to win this match against The Rock to be able to show this to him. So he was very desperate coming into this. And then you have one of the most controversial things to ever happen in the world of professional wrestling, the Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn, where he joined up with Vince McMahon. And Vince comes down to the ring, and he basically hands Stone Cold Steve Austin the chair that helps defeat The Rock. And you see the weird alliance of Austin versus Rock, which a lot of people think is horrible, but it does build up a lot into the Austin versus Vince relationship going into the Invasion, where they basically turn on each other. Stone Cold gets the win. Quite possibly one of the best shows that WWF's ever put on. I love the atmosphere of being in the Astrodome. I'm hoping a lot of this is going to relate to AT&T Stadium this year, so go out of your way. Make sure you watch this on the road to WrestleMania. Yesterday was 17 days until WrestleMania 32. Hopefully I can finish WrestleMania 16 to get the review up, because today is 16 days until WrestleMania, and I can't wait. I'll see you guys down the road.